luxury shortlet apartment, Lagos, is a place where your comfort is rest assured. Welcome.
Yes, a very beautiful morning to you. It's still morning in London, and I know in Nigeria we are approaching 11 o'clock, so it's still morning everywhere. A very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris, and I'm reaching you from the African Renaissance Television desk right here in London. I need to keep my phone on silent, so this is the time I'm going to get all the calls I've never gotten all day. So bear with me, people. It's an irresponsible act when you come on this platform, but hey, it is what it is when you are alone in the studio. All right. Today is the weekly bulletin, where we're going to try and take a look, make a sense of what we've been discussing all through the week. That's what the weekly bulletin is all about. In this week, the focus has been really on the wake up Nigeria, which is credited, which of course could be credited to one and only one person, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, when he said Nigeria is a state of particular concern. And I really want us to be very careful how we address this issue. Donald Trump, in his wisdom, called on the Nigerian government that enough is enough. If you don't act, there is an act within the United Nations that permits the United States to do so. And I'm going to try and analyze that. I think I've analyzed that enough and enough. There will be two different parts of the story. It's just like when you are in the law court. There's no case that lawyers will not find a way to defend. And there's no case a lawyer will not find a way to prosecute. So I've been listening to the interesting argument, and it just tells me how smart we are as a people. We're Nigerians, we're intelligent people. I can't take that from you. But what does not make sense is how come that we are so intelligent and little things are really defeating us. That is the part that really got me confused as a Nigerian. I look around now and I've been looking, you just go on Facebook, go to any platform, you're listening to television, you will see the wonderful people coming on the platform, on various platforms, to come and give their own analysis of what the situation is. Some are emotional, some are intellectual, some are religious. I've been listening. The only question that came to my mind was at the end of the day is, are there killings in the country? The answer is yes. Are Christians particularly targeted? Yes. Is the government paying deaf ear to it? Not exactly. But does the government have the capability to do so? No. Do they have the political will to confront it? No. What are the options, my people? See, at the end of the day, when you go into any issue, at the end you come to some kind of conclusion. And that is my conclusion today. Yes, the government of Nigeria is not really in support of killing of one particular set of people. I don't think so. Come on, man. Buhari wouldn't be doing that. Tinubu will not be doing that. They are not like that. But do they have the political will to pursue it? They don't. Maybe because they want to get the next set of votes from a particular set of people. You dare not make a statement against Islam in Nigeria if you want to be voted for. Or make a statement against those who are from the northern part of Nigeria. You will not get the votes. So, and I can understand that. So Tinubu is definitely going to be very careful, and he's going to tread carefully in addressing this issue, even when he knows that through that Christians are particularly targeted. It's not true that only Christians are killed, but they are, hey, if I am a Muslim, before I'll kill a Muslim, I'll kill a Christian first. The good thing is that we are not so much in that part of the world, of Nigeria. Otherwise, the Christians are actually a target. And we've seen it again and again. So why I'm going to not try to share some of these images with you today, because I'm a little too depressed with them. But I may be forced to share some. Now, so, and if you don't agree with me, let me share some few images with you. This is the image of northern part of Nigeria, when they are burying their dead, people weeping, things are happening. Like I said, does the consecutive government of Nigeria know and they will deal with it? Buhari didn't want, I'm not saying that Buhari supported it. But did he have the political will to deal with it? No. Did he? No, he didn't. Okay. So what's the way forward? Of course, if you want to be voted for again, you dare not say anything. And again, I don't know. Some of the things are complicated. Is it true that they cannot do it? Is it just the vote they are looking for? Because a politician looking for vote is always careful what he says. I'll just listen to Labour and the Conservative here now. Everything they say, it's about the vote. They just try to they dance to the gallery. They just want to please the British people. They are not sincere. Politicians can never be sincere. I think that is they are everywhere the same. I don't see their sincerity here, so I don't expect them to be sincere in Nigeria. So I'm not blaming you guys. But okay, now that because you cannot be sincere and deal with the situation, what is the way forward? That's what I keep asking on the platform. What is the way forward, Nigeria? Let's take emotion out of it. It's true that Buhari will not support it, the killing of Christians. Tinubu will definitely not support the killing of Christians. Tinubu's wife is a Christian. So where is he going to present that kind of matter? That's not the point. We're not saying that you are, Mr. Tinubu, that you are supporting the killing of Christians. But do you have the political will to confront, or do you have the nerves to confront the Boko Haram, or even make a very particular statement in cases where you know that this is actually the result of misguided religion? Let me use the word. Because Islam in itself is a peaceful religion, but some people have been misguided using the same Islam to perpetrate this crime. This is a fact. I'm never going to be able to sit down here sincerely and say anything bad about Islam, because I don't think Islam is a bad religion. It's not even very, it's not a bad religion at all. It's a religion of good practice. And for those of you looking at me today, you're saying that you're a Christian. If you were born in the north, you would have been a Muslim. You are practicing whatever you are practicing now because of where you are born. 90% of us are like that. Only 10% of us, when we grow up, we try to liberate ourselves and say, no, hey, listen, this is what my parents told me. Now I want to find out whether this is true or not. So the question I ask today is not a very hard one, but a very simple one. Is the federal government of Nigeria a party to this heavy crime? I will say no. I'm happy that I hear no, but the whipping is there. Does Tinubu support it? No. Buhari support it? No. But is the killing real? Yes. Is the killing real? Yes. Is it continuing? Yes. Now, is it a target on Christian? Yes. Do they kill Muslims? Yes. Now, the problem we have is, Buhari cannot solve this problem. He's dead now. Tinubu cannot solve this problem. That's the fact. You know why? Because Tinubu is looking for how he's going to get the next votes. And confronting Boko Haram may actually involve you, or my push you to offend some people in the north. And that would rob you of your votes. As a politician, your vote is sacrosanct. I know that's the number one thing. So I don't expect you to do what you are not supposed to do in order to not to be re-elected. So that puts me in a difficult position. I understand you that you don't want to do things that will compromise your election. But my people are dying. Now, your election and people dying, I cannot blame you because your job is to get re-elected. But people are dying. What's the solution? What's the way forward? That is the question today in Nigeria. We cannot blame Tinubu. We cannot say Tinubu is an Igbo man, this and that. No, he's not. But Tinubu does not have the will. He does not even have the capacity to handle this. That is why we are grateful. Those of us who think outside the box are grateful to Donald Trump. We will remain grateful to him for raising this issue. If nothing else, Donald Trump has done us. In fact, We cannot even worship him at this difficult time. It's a big thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you for raising this issue. Now Nigerians are talking. Like I said, please don't listen to everything we say, because like every law case, some people will be for it and some will be against it. But I can assure you that the vast majority of the ordinary Nigerians knows that we need one thing, we need intervention. Let me explain this. Like what I've been saying, Tinubu may want to do it because of his votes, of his interest to get the next election. He might not want to do it. Because this security issue is actually a big business for some people as well. So the more trouble, the more aid that's going to come from the US. Because now, what did Donald Trump say? He said he's going to stop some of the aid coming to Nigeria. And everybody said, oh, Donald Trump is coming to take oil or whatever minerals you have. But he's the one giving you aid now. Have you written down how much aid America has given to Nigeria over the years? I know it's easy to look at one side of the story, man. So the man is saying there's something wrong with your system. Try and fix it. He said, he didn't say it's coming straight. He said if you don't, it will come. Because nobody in his right frame of mind will allow that kind of killing. Like I said, I don't want to pollute the platform today with that kind of images. I'm going to share a beautiful video with a guy. I think he's one that sums it up, but I'm going to play it in between the show before I jump into the conclusion. So, my question to Nigerians, and this is the end of the week, as we go, for those of you who go to church tomorrow, and those of you who go to mosque, you were in mosque yesterday, the question is, now that we know our politicians are in difficult position to make some difficult decisions, and you and I are actually powerless. We are like children forced into a child forced into a marriage. We have no choice here. We remain there. We need a liberator. That's for me. I know there are different interpretations of the story. Oh, we don't need any external help. We don't need people to come and interfere into our affairs. Yes, but the question is, are they killing in the country? Is this killing true, or I am just the one forging this? Was Buhari, let me see, Buhari handled it well? He was able to do it? No. Tinubu has been there now for 2 years. Has he been able to confront the situation? No. So what is the way forward? For those of you that say, oh, we don't need external help, we don't need America to come in, but you were not talking about it until Donald Trump raised this issue. Like I said, I already thank him for that. Were you able to raise enough consciousness, enough awareness on the issue among us within Nigeria? The answer is no. Now, if you cannot even raise as little as the issue, what can you do confronting it? You know what so happened? I listened to Abati of Arise Television, happy 60th birthday, Mr. Man. But I'm disappointed, because one of your girls was killed at home. One of your presenter. Whatever surrounds the death of that girl, the truth is it was out of the fear, or whether the direct killing of all these henchmen, of an attack, the girl lost her life. That is something that should concern you. You come out and say, oh, America is coming we want to defend, we should be patriotic. Patriotic my ass. Why are you patriotic? Can you patriotic? In fact, when you people use the word independence, sometimes you use the word independent, patriotic, sovereign state. How can a sovereign state that cannot feed itself? That is one thing I always ask. You are a sovereign state, you cannot even protect yourself. You cannot, in fact, Nigerian borders are so porous that even inside Abuja, armed robbers will come in, rob and go away without, in fact, no trace. And people are losing their lives every day. Mr. Tinubu, Baba, you understand what I'm saying. The time to act is now. I sincerely believe, I'm not even a supporter of you that much, but I sincerely believe you cannot even do this, even if you want to. So the call for external help cannot be overemphasized. But Mr. Tinubu, that's not my really major concern. As this issue come up, me, I look at the problem of Nigeria bigger than the security issue, because I think the security issue would have been addressed if there's high level of education, in the country, that awareness. So the art of people being misguided, not only Muslims are misguided, Christians are misguided too. I don't want to talk about the Christians. They hate me for that already. It's not true that only Muslims take the Quran and misinterpret it and use it to hurt others. Christians are using the same Bible. Like I've given instances where a pastor will be able, with no conscience, will collect money from poor people. He's using a jet, and the people are hungry, clapping their hands in the church. I don't see where that, I don't see how that is in line with what Jesus Christ was preaching. Maybe I'm yet to be corrected, because the last time I checked, Jesus Christ was not about the wealth. It's not about, he wasn't poor, but I never know how many private jets Jesus Christ had, the kind of homes Jesus Christ had. He was going about his job, preaching the word of God. But I'm surprised today that the same pastors who we are now talking about today, so to know that I'm not supporting you, pastors. You Christians that misguide, that use the same Bible to oppress yourself, I'm not with you. I'm against the killing of Nigerians. Not you. So let's get the facts clear. I don't think Christians are better than Muslims in Nigeria. But this act of terrorism by Boko Haram and their clique, it has to stop. And 90% is because of the lack of education in that part of the country. The level of poverty. I mean, sometimes we are angry that, oh, we're living in the same country. The Christians are, we're using resources from the South, which is my region actually, to feed the whole nation. But that is not only the Boko Haram alone. It is our oil money that used to spread around the country. That what you use in the north, in the south, you guys have a lot on your soil. You're not working. The cause of this problem we are seeing today is not today. It's not what Tinubu caused alone. Has been the result of the decisions that we have been making from years now. And don't you think it is time for us to confront it head on? That's why now that we are in this position, I'm using the opportunity to remind Donald Trump. I told you what attracted you, what makes you to, what turns your eye to look at Nigeria might be the killings of Christians, but our issues are a little bit bigger than that. We're poor people living in a rich nation because our leaders are unproductive. As if that is not bad enough. The biggest challenge we have it's not just that the leaders are the one looting the resources of this country. What is really happening, Donald Trump, is they've hijacked the country. So Nigeria is not a case of a failed state. It's a case of a captured state. Let me use the word. You know, sometimes when they use the word failed state, I think I look for the right word to say. Let me put it this way. Let me look at this. We are a captured state. You are not a failed state. I want us to understand the difference between failed state and a captured state. A failed state is when you cannot take care of yourself. Like, for instance, we couldn't feed ourselves, we couldn't mind our security. You know, yes, all these insecurity challenges are there. Makes Nigeria a failed state. You know, a country that cannot protect itself, protect its citizens, is a failed state. A people that cannot feed themselves, they are failed state. People that, in fact, when you listen alone, I watched a video just now, and you see the way we're talking to ourselves, the anger. So, man, it's barbaric. That's a failed state. But that is better than a captured state. A captured state is when some few people have taken control of the country. They have the whole resources, and the rest people could die. I am saying Nigeria has been captured. Not only the financial aspect of it, the people that will become the next president, they know themselves. They're not going to be good. They're not going to get there because we voted for them. They're going to get there because they have the power to make this happen. They've been able to commandeer the financial resources. You see where they capture this? Because until you're able to liberate the country from those financial risks, that financial port which they have kept somewhere, which they spread to get everywhere stopped for them, because money can answer everything. You might get it wrong, but money answers everything. That's what the Bible said. Because with money, you can buy ammunition. With money, you can change things. I always play with women. I say, listen, there are two things. When a man gives you a certain amount of money, you will change your mind. All of now, when they beat Regina Daniel now, if you reach Natom, we go know whether I never make that decision at some point in your life. But I don't want to speak into that. That's why I speak pidgin there. Hello? So, money answered all things. Now, because some people have got into power in the past, they've been able to steal the money. So the money is with them. In the next election, they know that the way the money is in the power and the government. So they're going to spend the money to win the next election. And at the end of the day, they're not going to get themselves into power and begin to steal more money and keep the money to buy the next election. So that is a cycle. A state has been captured. Let me repeat that, people. Nigeria is not a failed state. It's a captured state. Yes, that's not the right word to say. Nigeria is not just a failed state. It is a captured state. It is a failed state in the sense that we cannot protect ourselves. We cannot feed ourselves. There is nothing about the Nigerian brand that means anything to any Nigerians right now. We are living. We are just living. Like I use the word. We are poor people living in a rich nation. But that's for some people. We are a captured state in the sense that some few people who have been opportune have managed to steal all the money. The money is with them. You see the way they talk. You know they are not living in the same world like you. They are on private jets. In fact, when they move, the world move. Have you seen a governor or anybody move in Nigeria? It's like the country is moving. In fact, the trees are moving. What is making people to do that? It's the resources, the money. I mean, I was saying something. Tinubu is coming to somewhere. Is Tinubu going to beat anybody? Is Tinubu going to shoot anybody? But Tinubu movement comes with money. If you find yourself in that cycle, your life is safe, you see? So they have the power to turn things around. So what they're doing is, because the money is already with them, they use that to influence the next election. They use that to influence the next election. So the message to Donald Trump is, we are not a first state alone. We are a captured state. Those who have captured the state are the biggest trouble. They are the biggest menace we have to confront in our time. Now, some people are going to ask me, who are the people that have captured Nigeria? You see, you can see them every day. Baba Tinubu, you are one of them. And the truth is, when you get there, nobody can. You don't want to go back to where you're coming from. So you capture. Have you seen somebody get into government office today? He's going to try and secure a lot of money, and he's going to be among the big boys now. His status has automatically been elevated. So he's not going to talk with the big boys. And in that cycle, only the big boys talk. And that is where the money is. Those people, as I know, their children don't study in Nigeria. They don't take medical treatment in Nigeria. They know how to win the next election. They are the one that picks who and who. They select. Come on, man. These are the people that have captured Nigeria. How are we going to be able to free Nigeria from them? It's Operation Free Nigeria. That is what we should be talking about. So we want to say to President Trump, if you want to help us like you're saying now, the slogan should be Operation Free Nigeria. You see, the biggest freedom we want is not Boko Haram. It's to free Nigeria from those who have captured Nigeria. Nigeria is in the hands of the few. They know themselves. They know they make phone calls and things happen. And that is why when we're going to do this, you see, these are the kind of images you see. During the elections, nothing happens, sir. The big boys know what to do. They know what to do. And yes, are they going to win the election? Yes. They have the instrument of the state to help them perpetrate their crime. They have the money to buy the poor people who are actually hungry. When a man is hungry, he doesn't think well. He wants to eat. It's just like a woman whose child is about to die. Anything you say, she will do for you. We are at the point of death. So anything they do at that moment, whatever they give to us, we eat and we forget about tomorrow. So whether we're going to have a free and fair election in Nigeria tomorrow is history. It's like you are dreaming. Donald Trump, the story that there's a day when Nigeria will have a free and fair election. You are joking, sir. Because they're not going to have a free and fair election. One, Tinubu has just appointed a new INEC boss. Okay, if you see the process of appointment, that's to tell you alone that there's nothing there. Tinubu, anytime Tinubu goes to the Senate, you hear on your mandate we shall stand. So the Senate and the House of Rep, they are all puppet to Tinubu. The only people that would have been able to confront Tinubu would have been our judiciary. Our judiciary have also been compromised. They are hungry. I don't know how we got here. Listen, don't ask me how we got here. But until Nigeria is free, this Boko Haram, no matter how many years you stayed in Nigeria, Donald Trump, you will not be able to stamp out Boko Haram. But hopefully when you are here, you'll be able to stamp out these thieves or this capturer, this conqueror, these invaders. Because you have come to, you see, some time ago we said the West came to invade Nigeria, they colonized Nigeria. It is our own people that have colonized us right now. Do you have freedom in Nigeria? What kind of freedom do you have? That you're going to vote and your vote will not count? Or that some people is going to be paid some amount of money to vote? You see, I'm saying that whether if you buy the vote and you happen to win, you are still a criminal. Because the money you use to buy the people is actually not your money. It's the money of the people which you have stolen or your parents stole. That's what you are using now. It's all right. Nobody's going to ask you after you've won. That the Christ is not arguing that. You are the boss. But where are we going? Nigerians, what I'm asking is, what is the way forward? Don't you people think we need external help? That's the part nobody want to hear. And I'm happy the argument is ongoing. Do we need help? Who is going to help us? Is it the people that have captured this country that is going to... How can you expect those people to reform themselves? How can you expect those who are benefiting from the system to reform the system? I don't understand what we're talking about. I'm lost. Nigerians, are you sincere? Are you people want to talk to yourself? That's why I'm happy I'm alone today. Do you want to talk to yourself? Sleep in your bedroom like I do. Ask yourself, what is the way forward for Nigeria? Someone like Tinubu is going to reform Nigeria. Or Buhari was going to reform Nigeria. Or who is that person that's going to reform Nigeria? The man benefiting now, who's going to hand over to his children, is going to reform Nigeria. Oh, wow. It will be an act of God. It will be an act of God. And that is the thing we don't want to do. If you are waiting for that act of God, better go to church on Sunday or go to mosque. This is not a forum for you. Go and pray. Because I believe in prayer as well. Hopefully God will intervene. Like he has done now. God has sent us a savior in my book. If we channel this energy into the right source, Nigeria might just be saved. We might just get our freedom. We need to be free. The way our colonial master, the way they set us people as slaves, this is the story of our time. In our time, we read about slavery. We didn't witness it really. People of my generation didn't witness slavery. But during slavery, Nigerians, Africans were conquered, were captured, really, were captured. That's the right word. They were captured, taken to the United States and to Europe, and they are still there now. That was the first story. Then later, they came, the Europeans met in Berlin, and they came and they captured us in Africa. They call it the colonial era. They captured us, and what were they doing? And if you look at the story, I'm going to go back to it. Today, the people that captured us is actually one of us. It's not the West again. It's one of us that have captured us. And who are they? They are the political elite that have captured Nigeria, and they are using it well. Now, let me tell you the similarity in all. When the first set of people came to take slaves from Africa, they didn't come for anything. No, they came for commerce. They were looking for something. It was the money that was their interest, and they were able to take us because they had more money. They would give our king small wine and some things. It was not always that our people didn't participate. We participated in it. They give you some money, you sell your brother. You allow your brother to go. That's what happened. I'm sure if the whole of Africa were against slave trade, they were against slavery, nobody would have succeeded to take us away for that years. So I'm just talking about the financial, the economic part of it. Nothing works without the money coming in, without the economy of it being thought about. Now, let's look at the colonial time. The colonial masters, when they came, they didn't come for anything else. They didn't hate you. They came because they want to take what you have. It's about the economy, the money. And that's what they did. In their case, actually, we give them some credit because they were able to tap on some of the things we don't see. They saw it, they used it, and they led away with it. Now, there's no more slavery in Nigeria. There's no more colonial era in Nigeria. Now, what is stopping you from growing today is now your own people who are now taking the same money that is meant for everybody. They keep it for themselves. And funny enough, the unfortunate thing is they are still taking the same money to the same place they took us to as slaves. They're still taking the same money to UK when they took us to as slaves. The same resources that UK came to collect before, UK don't need to come again. Our people are actually collecting it and bringing it here. It's even the UK saying, no, take it back. It's not the UK government telling your people, your government, your own brothers and sisters to take your money back. Nigerians, we are not just a failed state. We are captured. Take a story. Take a look at what I said about this capture. They captured us as slaves. They captured us during the colonial era. Those were foreigners. They were not one of us. But now, the sad part of this one is it is one of us. My brother, your brother that has actually captured us. How are you captured? A system where the whole wealth is now controlled by some set of people. They will use the same wealth now, the same money to influence the next election so they can be there. And that one is where the money is. They will now keep the whole money. So the money will remain with them because they will use the money to win the next election. And they will be in power to collect the remaining money. And who's going to free us? Are you saying that? Let me ask one question. Maybe what happened during the slave trade will happen. But actually, it was black people who were in the United States. Slaves were becoming aware. And the consciousness was there. And they said, no, this is immoral. They have to abolish slave trade. Actually, the slaves themselves, they protested. I'm just talking. During the colonial era, the colonialists would have seen Bidel. It was the few people that they studied abroad, influenced by Marcus Garvey, that came home and said, no, you cannot. So there was that internal resistance. Unfortunately, in this our time, I can't see the resistance from our own people. We couldn't resist people like the Tinubu. who we knew that they're going to use the next election. The reason I know Tinubu has captured Nigeria is when you see people decamping right now. As I'm talking to you, I'm just going to show you some of the campees. And more are decamping on a daily basis. Now, let me explain this. Is this against the law? Can you blame Tinubu for this? Is this against the law? No. Tinubu did not force them to decamp. They used to decamp. Fine. So it's not against the law. Now, let me tell you, the colonial era, this was not against the law. There was a legality behind it. The slave trade was not against the law because as at the time slave trade was abolished, it stopped. So it wasn't against the law. So it doesn't mean that slavery was right when they were doing it. It doesn't mean that colonial time was right when they were doing it. Even as at that time, it wasn't, they were not against the laws. Today, the decamping of people from the people, other political parties to the ruling party in Nigeria is not against the law. So you can't blame Tinubu for that. But is it right? No. The question I asked yesterday, and I'm going to ask you again, why are they decamping? No. Nobody has been able to answer that question. You know, my governor is number one here, the governor of Delta State, and followed by one senator, Ned. Ned, you don't see yourself, you were supposed to be a clean guy. You study law, and this one you can't end up with. Is it money you're looking for? Look at the whole trouble now. Now, so, and all the governors and all of them, they are all going to decamp, and more are coming. The question I ask is, why are all these people decamping? Because if you don't join the ruling party, you are on your own. So we are actually being colonized. Is it the right word to use? We are actually being colonized by our own people. The colonial era is gone. It's not the British or the French that has come to colonize us. It's our brothers and sisters that are now colonizing us. Now, let me use another word. I do a show here, I talk of the slave traders, or the slave and the slave traders. The slave masters, the right word. It was the white people, the West, that came, and they were the slave masters. No, now, our slave masters of the 21st century is actually our brothers and sisters. They are the new slave masters. You know why I know? Who is a slave and who is a slave master? By the time, have you seen the way the policemen, Nigerian police, not to talk of me, I'm ordinary bloody civilian, a Nigerian policeman working for a senator, if you see the way they will pack into the van, or what kind of stupid pickup they import from Japan. Hey, if you're on the way, they will whip you. Able human beings, about 8 of them, will be driving misbehavior because the senator is coming. Because a member of the House of Rep is coming. Look, is that not even disgusting? No, what was it? What you saw during the slave trade? And this is what happened. During the slave trade, Malcolm S was talking about the slave that is close to the master. And he got the one name, I've forgotten the word now. And then the field slave and the home slave. No, the ones in the home, they are the one that benefit. So they are the one that are close to the master. And the one in the field, they are the rejected ones. And exactly what we see today. If you are close to this class, these boys you see here now, you eat with them. You know, they will give you an appointment. So you are like among the slave of those days, you know, the one that stays in the home slave. But those of us who are in the field slave, we're the one in the field that we are doing the planting for them. That's exactly what you see. So Nigerians, let's not make mistake about this. Whatever I said today, I stand to be corrected. And I know I'm annoying very many of you. But I'm reminding you that slavery is not out of the place. Slavery is actually now more than before. The only difference is the baton has been exchanged. It's no more the white man doing it. It's your brother. The colonial time, you are now being colonized, not by Britain, but by Tinubu and his caucus. They have colonized us. Now, why I'm talking here, just like in those days, there will be some slaves who are closer to the big boys, to the master. Those people are eating from the master, so they're not going to want this one to end. Do you know that during the slave trade, it is not even the slave master that was actually beating us? It is one of the slaves, the one that is close to the master, that will be giving the whip to go and whip his brothers. Exactly what we see today. Oh, I wish my S is here. He would have reminded you what they went through. Are you doing this to me? Are you punishing me? The answer is no. And now the West, they are not the one helping us now. You see how the world turn around. The people that you said were your enemy, because it was America and Britain that took us as slaves, and most of the rest of the world, they did it to us. We are everywhere. Anywhere you see a black man today, know they were taken from Africa. But we are there now. That has settled. They've repented. The colonial time, when they came to Africa to take the magnificent African cake, they have repented. They are now there, except that France don't want to go. I think France don't want to leave. Otherwise, I can have to give Britain some credit. Give UK credit. They are no more actually after your money. If you bring it, yes, they can do business with you. Of course, they want to do business every time. Now, who are the people now colonizing us? Who are the people enslaving us today? I want to use the real word so that you can relate to it, to your history, and understand where you are. Because if I just say, no, we are slaves, you might not understand. I want you to understand the psychology of slaves. And this was what happened. They took us as slaves. Those ones that will take us as slaves, we go and sell those slaves. And we have more money and buy more wine, more gin to come and give to our king so that we can get more slaves. So, Tinubu, by virtue of being a president, is now in position of authority with all the monies. With that money, he's going to make some of you who are the home slaves to come and whip us who are the freed slaves. At the end of the day, we are being captured. That's the language. Governor Boriwari, now bring some of them. He's among the slave master. Now he's talking big. I never know this guy. I saw Boriwari as a very humble man, but he has changed. He has changed. Now he's among the slave master. A man of yesterday who was in the field, like I said, you were in the field. You were like one of us, sir. Now you are a slave master. You think you are now better than us. That's what it be now. The question I ask is, are we going to wait, now that we know, if those of you that have been listening to me, you've got my message. My question today is, are we waiting for our slave master to say, no, they've eaten enough? Or somebody have to shame them for them to do that? Because America, at a point in time, they were claiming to be the free world. I think with what was going on, they couldn't defend it in where the presence of Russia and the rest. Because America was the free world and you are the one carrying slaves. It doesn't make sense. So those things make America to say, no, we don't need slaves. Let the black people be free. Hello? So who is going to shame our slave masters now? And our case, our own, we are blind. The way the money has blinded us now, I don't think a simple shame will even do it. We need a help. Big help. The help is not a joke. To free us from slavery. Slavery in the hands of our own people. Those of you who have listened to me again and again, go back and watch this video. The slave trade of that time is still there. It's just that the baton has been exchanged to them. Tinubu are now the slave masters. They've captured the society. They will do anything they want. Look at your mandate, we shall stand. Tinubu will win the next election. Who are you to ask him question? Whether you like it or not, he's going to be the next president. Unless Donald Trump step in, of course. He's going to win the next election. Of course. I cannot say he's not supposed to win, because he has bought slaves. And he have home slaves. Who has the whip now to whip on, defeat slaves. At the end of the day, Tinubu will be in the position to take more money, give it to his people, to his home slave. The home slave will keep whipping the fifth slave, and the Tinubu will continue to rule. I'm not using only Tinubu as an example. The same with Oboriwori. So you need to, the thing is, anything that can catapult you. You know, in those days, black people were able to pay themselves off as slaves. Let me say this. So there were cases where slaves were able to free themselves. They paid the money that they were being, because they were selling them. If you can pay that money, you are free. So you could have actually freed yourself. So exactly what is going on today. So if you can make some money and you might manage to catapult yourself into the cycle, then you have freed yourself from slave trade, from slavery. You become a slave master. And from that moment, I think you want to have your own moment, enjoy your time. I don't blame you guys. That's exactly what's happening to Oboriwori right now. Oboriwori was a slave. He's now a slave master. And he's actually among those putting people in prison today. Allowed you still have Fejiro in prison. As a wise man, an elder, you call yourself in the church. I don't think that rat, Fejiro, should be your problem. I understand Fejiro was saying so many anointings. Yes. But it's putting him in prison. Do you have, I don't know where in the law of Nigeria where you can just put people behind bars. Ned, you now they're good at that. I hear say you and your wife get issues. A man like you could not even treat the matter at home. No matter what they say, you play deaf ear, because the press, you don't need to listen to them. Now the press is making you to talk. They're going to make your mother-in-law to talk. They're going to make your wife to talk. At the end of the day, who is winning? Ned, who is winning the case? Regina is down. You are down. The family is down. Who's benefit? The public is just making noise. Making noise on your family. You couldn't control it. Exactly what these two people here, they are from my area. They are from Delta State. The first two on top, the governor of Delta State, he just put a journalist in prison. A boy he would have ignored. Like I told him, if I were to be, I would ignore Fejiro. You know what we do to them in school? I'm a trained teacher, sir. Come and consult us. When you see a child misbehaving, you ignore the child. Before you know, he's silent because he's missed nothing to you. And then when he's doing something good, you encourage him. Before you know, the child will repent. Fejiro is a boy, the way he's talking bad about you, the day you give him 50,000 or maybe 1 million naira, 2 million naira, come and say, Fejiro, come. Fejiro will start singing. He's a young boy. He's a poor journalist. I told them that they have disappointed us so much. Journalism in Nigeria has failed us so much. But that's not the question. That's not the issue of today. But what I want to say is this. Once you become a slave master, you can do and undo. The way these people can do and undo today, it is difficult not to abuse the power. Because the power I'm talking about here is not only the policeman that follows them, it's the money. When the colonial people came, they were the money that speaks. It was not the power. It was not the gunpowder. They were not coming to shoot at us every day. They were not saying, oh, give me your brother as slave, or you must work for me. No. They were giving them money. By the time you see your life is better than the other person, you say, my life done better. Why am I going back to that? Exactly what you see today. And the funniest thing, Nigerians, for those of you looking at me, you are either a slave master a house slave or a field slave? Interpret it which class you belong. For those of you now who have been given appointments, especially those that are in Delta State, SA this, PA this, SA this, who are you? Sometimes your job now to go on the social media and begin to attack anybody that say anything bad about them, even when you know what the person said is true. You have to defend your principle. It's your job. I'm not blaming you. But you know your name? You are a home slave. You are still a slave. Look at your life. Does that set you from being a slave? The answer is no. You are still a slave, bro. My sister, you're still a slave. I want you, those of you that understand how slavery worked in the United States. The field slaves were the ones that were in the field working in the farm. Then those ones in the house were those ones they will actually give the cane to go and whip those ones in the field to work harder for the slave master. The slave master don't have to do anything. No, he's not the one beating people. He's using one of them to it was one of us that was doing that. Everybody here from Kotom, all those languages in the United States. Only black people understand it. Those of you in Nigeria, you may not understand. But hopefully my analysis of where you're coming from today will help you to put yourself where you think you belong. My question is, what category are you? Are you a slave master? A house slave, home Negro, they call them the home Negro, or the field Negro? Either way, from what I can see, very few people, not up to 2% of us, are the slave masters. And those ones you can tell, their children are not in Nigeria. They don't study in Nigeria. Their wives are not even in Nigeria. They fly abroad. I don't know who's giving them visa anyway. That's why I'm going to talk to the international community. That's why we're going to end the show. The children are not in Nigeria. They can pay, in the UK here. My uni here is Middlesex University. You know how much you pay as a foreign student? £16,000 per annum. £16,000. £16,000 today in Naira is almost 40 million. Okay, let's say it's about 32 million Naira. Then you pay accommodation for the child. You pay for his feeding for 1 year. Accommodation in the UK, of course, it's not going to live like me. It's going to have a 1-bedroom flat. A 1-bedroom flat in London today is about £2,000 times 12. That's already 24,000, almost more than the school fees. You've not paid the ticket. You've not paid for the child food. So for an average child, a slave master spend a minimum of 50 to 60,000 pounds. That's about 120 million naira. If that 120 million were spent in Nigerian education, the child don't need to come here. We'll come to that. That's another day. They don't have that moral. They don't have that understanding. They are the same people that will come and buy a big house of £2 million in the UK. In fact, if you look at the person that buy that house, he is from a very, very poor home. I said, go and look at the family of these people you see here now. Go and look at their father. Go and look at their father. Look at their parents. The life they live, and they still live it. A child of a poor rat will be misbehaving. You take about 120 million on one child. The village can't go to school. Everybody there. They are waiting for you. Today, some of the slaves are protesting. They are protesting. And you know what is so good? I don't want to address the issue of the insecurity again. Let me stick to the slave and slave trade. Slave and slave masters and the slaves then. Because we've been conquered. We've been captured by our own people. Now, how do I present this case to Donald Trump? Because all Donald Trump can see right now is, okay, there's genocide in Nigeria, Christians are being killed. Which is a very myopic way of looking at this issue. It is real. It is happening, like I said at the beginning of the show, but that is not our problem. Our problem is that we have been captured by our own people. We are slaves in our own land. Now, who's going to save me and you? No, for those of you that have big mouths and can insult Donald Trump, who's going to save us now? We need help. out of the same fear. Some of the slaves, because slave masters are more than slave masters. So some of the masters that are more powerful, they are pushing even the other masters to tow along. Look at these ones now. They know they are not safe, so they are decamping to the APC for security. But all of them are slave masters. They are not people we should be talking about. And I cannot blame Oboriori. I cannot blame these guys, because if they don't change, they're going to deal with them. The bigger slave masters are going to put them in prison. They have the EFCC to put you in prison. So they're going to use the instrument of the state. Now the question is, how are we going to free ourselves from this cycle? This cycle we find ourselves where, God, thank you for revealing this to me. A cycle where we have been captured, and now we're going to fight ourselves, not the slave master. So the slave master is actually free. You now have some home Negro, or they call them the house Negro, really, and the field Negro. The house Negro, they are eating better. They eat in the same, they are in the home. They eat with the master sometimes. Not good food though, but sometimes I know some remnants of what the master eats. That's what they eat now. Unlike the field where there is the rubbish they go and throw for them in the field to eat. So the slave masters have gotten some home Negro. We say they call them the first class slaves. They're the one that's going to whip us, the second class slaves. And they're doing it very well. And the problem is, because the slave master have captured us this way, he will continue to win election. He will continue, because his number one job is to retain that power. And he's going to retain it, because he's going to use the first class slave to hit on the second class slave with a little bit of money. He's back on power, and he continues to loot the money and continue to use it to oppress us. In Jesus' name. You know, I'm not going to go on a break because I want to end this show quicker. Yesterday, I ended up saying something. I have a video I want to share here, but I don't want to share it anymore. I only ask my girls something, and I ask you people, Nigeria, I'm going to ask you again. For those of you that disagree with me, I want to give you a little bit of history. Or when you read the Bible, try to understand the context in which Jesus Christ was talking. As at the time Jesus Christ came, the Jewish people were conquered by the Romans. Everywhere you will see a Roman soldier following you, not to try anything. You understand? Because they were being conquered. So they were expecting Jesus to come and free them from that contest. And what Jesus Christ did was first let them know, I am not for that. I'm for the whole world. But you yourself that want to be free, are you in a position to be free? That's exactly what I should be asking us today. Now, why we blame the Tinubu for all these things? Are we ready to be free? And I ask a question. If Jesus were to be alive today, now he's among us, what would he say about all this? But Jesus is not dead, you know that. Anybody know that Jesus is alive. So, what will you do? What do you think Jesus is saying to you? Actually, if you say you are a child of God and you are living in this world, don't you ask your God one day, say, Jesus, talk to me. Let me know where we are in this country. Maybe he will not talk to you directly. He might use my voice to talk to you today. But Jesus Christ has been talking to you. It's just that your heart is too hardened to listen. He has been talking to you through some messages. He talks to you through the pastor sometimes. Even when they want to take money, sometimes they are inspired. You know, when you begin to talk to the congregation, before you know, you get into a spirit, you begin to speak in spirit without knowing it. That's when God gets into you. And sometimes God will leave you. Not all the time here I have God. Sometimes I'm struggling to do it, but sometimes God will just take control. And I know I'm not speaking for myself. That's how it works. So I want to ask you this. Are you ready to be free? Or do you agree that you are a slave? Do you agree that you are a slave master, sir? Are you a first-class slave or you are a second-class slave? Meaning, are you a home Negro or a field Negro? The field Negro is more aggressive. People like us at the field Negro, we are angry. We don't like the system. Because we are facing, we are on our own. But the home Negro eats well. He enjoy. You see, those of now, when most of you people are SAPA, you get one stupid appointment or the other, but you are still poor because in the next 2 years you are poor. They will just dump you now. You are back to us. You fall back to us. You know, in those days, that's what happened when anyone offend the master, the slave master. They will fire him to go to the field. You come and join us. At that time, we'll come to beat you, Nigerians. Today, if you've not listened to me before, listen to this. My submission today in all that has happened is, I am saying to Donald Trump, yes, thank you for bringing this awareness. In fact, you are God sent. Maybe you really deserve the Nobel Prize. I agree with him. But what I cannot understand is why you still limit it to only Christians. We are not just a failed society. We have been captured by our own people. Okay. Tinubu is one of them. You can see the level of the Nigerian state. The few ones that you see, let me show some of their images. Oh, I think I brought some of the images today. These are the people that have conquered us. Let me show them in full. They conquered us. When you see the way they move, you will know. You see that one in the middle? He's equal to God. Who made him? I don't know. Have you seen this in the UK, my people? For those of us in the UK, does the Prime Minister have this kind of following? Look at how many people following the Senate President. Look at the number of vehicles following one man here. It's to tell you that the slave master is coming. And who are the people guiding him? You see the first-class slaves. They're the one guiding him. Some of them are in the form of uniform. They will whip your ass if you misbehave. Some of them are appointed to actually whip my ass on social media. How dare you say this? How dare you say this about my principal? I know you are a slave. I'm not going to respond to you. If you have brain at all, you will know that you are a slave. Only you are a higher slave than I am. You might be first-class slave. I'm a second-class slave. But we are all slaves. You could easily be dropped down to me. Any minute, first-class slave could be reduced to fifth slave. You can be fired any minute. And you know the money you have is not enough for you to be in the slave master. You don't have money to buy slaves. So you come back to us and work in the field. I've been here, I've been in the field. Urban or they go transfer. So again, no verse. I'll still talk to these people small. Sometimes this slavery is not confined to government alone. Some of our men of God, I don't know where they come from, where they use the word, where the word men of God come from. They are actually slave masters. Whether or not God says so, are you telling me that, because that's what my guest said the other day, that no matter what happens, some people will be poor. Are you saying that God said he should pick some people slaves and some will be slave master? Is that biblical? Is that the message of God? Is that what Jesus Christ was preaching? I don't know. It's up to you. You go to church. I don't go anymore. I'm asking you now, is that the message of Jesus Christ? Was that the position, or is that still the position of Jesus in our life today? That some people should be slaves and some to be slave masters. Because the last time I checked, these men, they have private jets. The money they have is not their money. It's money that belongs to the people. The last time I checked, I never heard that they did one business. It's that business that brought them the money. It's the money from the church that gave them private jet, the best life they have today. But that's some people are in the field. And when I talk, you guys going to shout at me. Let me rest my case. But sir, I want to say to you guys, you slave masters, you're not different from Tinubu. Because it's the same society money that Tinubu is using that comes from tax. Your own is coming from tithe. Chikina. That gave you so much power that when you talk today, you can move things because you have money. The only reason you can do these things is because of the money you've collected from us. I want to stay with the men of God. Let me keep you guys. Thank you. But you got my message. I'm gonna take them away because I know when I talk about this, everybody's upset. So I know my boundaries. My Nigerian people. This free movement of power to man to bandit is an evidence of government cooperation. That's when I was talking about this. I wanted to share that on a very deeper level, but I won't go into that today. Like I said, what is happening today is the government will find it difficult to convince me, even when I exonerated them at the beginning, that they are not aware of this criminal element in our society. Like I said, they are the field Negro and the home Negro. The slave master is very in fact, they are tactical. They have to stick on to their power. So anytime they will set up something to disorganize society, so they will not be looking at them. So now, with the insecurity challenges, who actually empower the Boko Haram? Are you telling me that, Tinubu, you are not aware that there's Boko Haram, there's a place they stay in Nigeria? With all the security intelligence you have, America has supplied us so much intelligence in the past. Are you saying you are not aware of where these guys are or they are doing your bidding? I will not be able to accuse you directly. But I find it difficult to believe that you are not aware. And even if you are not aware, what happened to all the security budgets? Where's the money? Where are the aid that comes from America? America is angry right now. They're giving you money to stamp these people out of society. They're not getting. You see, America is now in a different position. That's why I said they might be the God we are looking for. Because sometimes God has been speaking to us. God has sent different prophets. Even when he sent Jesus, we didn't listen. He sent Prophet Muhammad, we didn't listen. Till today, we are not listening. Maybe I'm one of the prophets. And he said I'm one also, you don't come and stone me. Because if I say I'm one now, many people will say it's blasphemy. But as long as you preach the good message of God, you are a prophet of Jehovah. Did you hear me? As long as you preach the message of God, you emulate the message of Prophet Muhammad and that of Jesus Christ, you are a prophet of God. We'll preach that another day. Don't forget that Jesus and Muhammad were saying the same thing. My people, let's come slowly to an end of the show. I don't want to blaspheme today. I don't want to talk too much. But if Tinubu and the rest of his people are saying that they are not aware that there's Boko Haram or where they are, the United Arab Emirates has officially one time actually identified, actually they tried their case, and they said about some few Nigerians were those people sponsoring Boko Haram. So the Arab world, it's not as if they are supporting your rubbish. What did the Nigerian government do? They kept quiet. Now you're telling me that it's the West that is responsible. America has raised concern about this. EU has called for an independent investigation. What happened? The matter died. My conclusion is the system as it is cannot reform itself. Let's not deceive ourselves. Tinubu will not reform the system because he's benefiting from it until it is too late. You know what I like about it? It sometimes gets too late. Yesterday, I was using the word. I said, I heard Obasanjo crying, complaining that they invaded his library, his presidential library, at night. That why should they come at night, this and that? I said, Baba, you've done worst. When you were the slave master, you use our first-class slaves to do more evil. You were the one that set up the EFCC now. It's the EFCC that is now hurting you. You don't know where it's going to hurt you to. So Tinubu, you can do what you want today. I do know that even the law of karma will come back on you. But they are not even waiting now. God is coming to take over his land. God is coming to take over his land. He's sending Donald Trump to take over his people. That enough is enough. That enough is you use for when young people came out to protest. Now, you know Boko Haram are out there on the streets. They are killing people. They've taken part of the country. You couldn't say enough is enough to them. It's when young people come out to protest, they are out to protest now. You say enough is enough. Oh, when the governor of Rivers State is doing something, that is when you can remember enough is enough. You couldn't remember enough is enough. That language from Boko Haram. God bless you, sir. I'm not going to say much, and I won't say more than this today. I pray that Nigeria will come to senses. Personally, I am calling on Donald Trump to please help us. Do not come because there is Christian genocide. We are a captured people. Come and free us from bondage. You see, the Jewish people were saying to Jesus, when are you going to free us from bondage? We found ourselves in the hands of the Romans. Donald Trump, our own people have captured us. They have colonized us. We are their slaves. Free us. God, come to our rescue. God, in fact, it's a time we are crying. For those of you that go to church tomorrow, your prayer point is, God, come and free your people from bondage. If you cannot see the bondage, then you've not listened to me today. I said we are being conquered, captured, enslaved by one of us. The people, not many, not this time, not the West. So you not say, oh, it's a Igbo that came to do this. For those of you that hate the West so much, oh, West did this, West did it. They are not the one who. They are actually not the one helping you. You know, and they are the one to help us, because if they can help us sincerely, if the West want to help us today, our problem is solved. Maybe we don't even need to go to church tomorrow to go and ask God. This is what I said to Britain and America. One step, you now know them. You know them. You know these people more than us. Anyone you know, you put a travel ban on him. He cannot travel to Europe. His family cannot come to Europe, and you begin to see his assets in Europe. If you do that, 1 to 3 of them, they are very afraid. You see all of them will begin to play the line. And you say to them, anybody that wins the next election, do you know that you can't control that, because they're going to use money to buy it anyway. So you will not be in the homes of people. But we are watching. Tell them you are watching. Oh, Donald Trump, please make that statement for us. That you are watching. That anybody that buys the next election with the people's money, because it's not their money, they see the money, if they're going to use to buy us and use the slave, the home Negro to hit on the Negro and the field Negro and win the next election, that you are waiting for them. That their assets will be seized. They will be arrested anytime they travel to the United States. In fact, there will be travel ban on them. You know what they will do? They'll begin to sit up. Because they are cowards. Anybody in his right senses will not be doing what they're doing now. So these are not human beings to deal with. They are easily, you can capture them 1 second. If you're going to come out of this, it's you. So what am I saying, Donald Trump? We're not looking for you to come and actually hammer on the Boko Haram. Yes, you can help us to stamp them out. I think they're already on the run. Only your voice alone. Tinubu is sitting up. But they thought it's about this issue. That you have, meaning you are just setting Tinubu free. He will go and ring the next election. I didn't say go and put them in prison, but let it be clear that any one of them that rings the next election, and when I say ringing, it's either even if you buy votes, you are part of it. If you beat people, if you intimidate people, if you stop your opponent from doing things, you know how it practices in America and in the UK. If they deviate from it, travel ban on them, asset confiscation, they will be arrested, and they will be above all treated as war criminal, because what they are committing is genocide. And to grant it all, any of them, but this is how they do it first. It just starts from this looting. Any attempt, any of you will see that it's looting, and your child is abroad, your child will be arrested first. That your child that you sent to abroad, we will first arrest him. We are waiting for you, but your children abroad will be arrested. You see, make life uncomfortable for the Nigerian thieves. Make life uncomfortable for the Nigerian enslavers. The Nigerian slave masters, they need to be treated. I know they use the F word. Otherwise, it's enough. Their F word need to be treated right now. And we cannot do it, sir. Only one word, Donald Trump. That is served. I am a voice crying here for help. That the people among us who are enslaving us, imagine somebody will take his only child with a budget of 120 million to go and study abroad when the rest don't have school to go. So we go and they come from abroad for treatment. The rest of the country, there's no hospital. That is genocide. And guess what? They're going to use the home Negro to beat on the house Negro, give the house the field Negro some little bit of money, and they're going to win the next election again. Meaning they help their destiny. We are captured. So we are not just a case of a failed state. We are captured people. We can't free ourselves. They're deceiving you that they can. They cannot. And until we come to that realization, until you help us, I don't think God will even forgive you. I'm not saying anything, Donald Trump. You, the people in the West, you, the EU, you are not forgiven until you help us. Because you cannot, you see, the United Nations made it clear to you that when you see a case of genocide, it is up to you to act. And if you don't act, who is United Nations? United Nations is the voice of God. It was God that gave you the knowledge to come together so that you won't kill yourselves. So that the people will stop killing themselves, there's that United Nations. What called United League of Nations? Today is United Nations. It's going to get better. Like I said, only enforcement in United Nations were true. But now, who are the people who can enforce it? It's only the 5 veto power that can do it. China are only blind with money. They're only looking for food. I can't see of another free world than the United States. So the freeing of Nigeria is in the hands of the United States. I know some people will say, oh, we are going back to slave trade. Are you even enslaved? You know what is a slave? You are a slave. You are being enslaved by your own people right now. Go and define a slave. Go and look at slave trade practice like I've explained on the show. Ask yourself whether you are free or you're not. That is why I'm going to try and cool off the show. I'm going to try and just end up here, because if I say more people are going to be more angry with me. But let me recap what I have said. And this is the message of today. You know, I will start the show. And I even want to preach something else will come in. And that is when I tell you that God will then begin to speak through you. I didn't come to this show today with the concept of preaching slave trade. I wasn't going to go into what I wrote down was something on how the government is compromising, on how we need help. But as I begin to talk, God just said to me, listen, Daddy Chris, the problem is, let these people understand what it is from the concept of slave trade down to the colonial time. And that's what I did. There was a time in the history of Africa when white people came with boats. They gave our kings, some of our top men, some wine, not even some gin. Ogogoro they drank, and they were happy to sell us as slaves. Are you saying that when the white people came, they were not doing business with somebody? That's what happened. So what happened was this exchange of money. But at the end of the day, the people went to the United States. I want to describe the slave mentality and in the United States, how we were being captured. The people in the black people in the United States were then captured. They were there captured. That's why I said Nigeria is a captured state. They were captured, and the white man or the slave master then was not actually the one telling you what to do in the field. He will make some of us home Negro and then the field Negro. The home Negro were the ones supervising the field Negro. The field Negro were the one that were doing the hard labor to do the field, the cutting and all the things, the sugar cane that they were planting. The home Negro they were more at home, more comfortable. They eat with the slave master once in a while. Or the remnant of what the slave master eat is what they eat. So they were in a better position compared to the field Negro. And that was how they were able to rule it. And I said, look at yourself in Nigeria today. You see the presidency, the governors and all that, they are the slave masters. And they will appoint you as a PA. You become a home Negro. We are the field Negro. Our wealth, whatever we sweat for, is what you people are using to enrich yourself. And I said, take that first. That's what God said I should say. I went further to make it simpler, because those of you that didn't remember slave trade, you can see the colonial time. The colonial masters came. They conquered us. We were conquered until we got ourselves free. What was happening? The little resources we have. Some people were working, and they came, and what did they do? They used the indirect route. They walked through our kings. The British were clever. They walked through the king were the one you see. The white men were free. So it was your king that would collect the money, collect the tax, and which would take away. And again, I said, that is a captured society. And I'm asking you now, when you look at your Nigerian society, there are some few people who are doing well. Look at them. And then again, I don't want to show you the bad images. Some people are dying. Is this a word, my people? Is this what we should be seeing? Nigerians, look at this. And then in the same country, look at the big boys. Whatever they say, these are the slave masters of our time. And we are the slaves. If you like, you take it. If you like, you don't. And I'm now saying that this system cannot reform itself. Never. We need help. So I'm calling on Donald Trump. I don't know very many of you want to please come and help us. If you say you're coming for Christian genocide, that would be actually belittling our problem. Come and free us from bondage. We are now being captured by our own people. Tinubu is getting people to the camp on a daily basis because he's going to win the next election. And when he wins the next election, he's going to make more money. And with more money, he's going to win another election. And like I said, Obasanjo would have been around the third term. Obasanjo would have run third term. May God help us. Listen, I'm going to end the show here right now, right here. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the weekly bulletin. I don't have all the energy to fight more than I have said, and I hope that those who have ears, they've heard me. We are in bondage. Donald Trump can free us. Britain can free us, and I've outlined them and I've called on them that he should freeze assets of thieves, not those who are hardworking people. If they stole the money, then the money is not their own. You know how it's done in the UK. If I go and withdraw 15,000 pounds, and I put 15,000 in my account, they're going to ask me, where did you get that money? So this money they are bringing here, ask them, where did they get it? Where tax? Have they paid tax on it? How did they manage to make that money? That's the question I'm saying. If America and Britain will do that for us, or the EU will do that for us, we'll be back to where we are. The slave, because the slave only operates with money. The colonial time operated with money. The slave trade flourished because of money. The slave of our time is actually money-oriented. We can be free, and America can free us. Britain can free us. How are they going to free us? Let me repeat that again. They're going to seize assets. They're going to put travel ban, arrest some. In fact, put some of their children abroad in trouble for the sins of their father. So their father will sit up and begin to correct themselves in the name of Jesus. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the Weekly Bulletin. The station is African Renaissance Television. I'm reaching you from London. For those of you, if you've not followed us before, everything is at SRTV Television. If you go to YouTube, say YouTube at SRTV Television, you have us. TikTok at SRTV Television. I think Facebook is just SRTV Television, and Instagram is SRTV Television. Do well to follow us, because this is where we speak the truth of power in our own small way. Thank you very much. Bye, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.
Find your sanctuary in the heart of the city. Live the life you deserve in an exquisite apartment. SRTV Luxury Shortlet Apartment, Lagos, is a place where your comfort is rest assured. Welcome to SRTV Shortlet Apartment, part of the prestigious SRTV Real Estate family. Why choose us? Prime location, nestled in the heart of Lagos, close to key attractions, business hubs, and vibrant nightlife. Modern interiors, fully furnished, stylish apartments designed to provide the ultimate comfort. Luxury redefined, vacation perfected. 24/7 security. Enjoy peace of mind with round-the-clock security and CCTV surveillance. Top-notch amenities, high-speed Wi-Fi, smart TV, air conditioning, fully equipped kitchen, and lots more. Perfect for business travelers, family vacations, romantic getaways, special events, and more. Book your stay today and experience Lagos like never before. Call +234 8143 582856 or +447 4388 93190, or email us at realestate@superiorradiotelevision.com. SRTV Laundry, bringing cleanliness to your fingertips. Laundry is so good, it will make you jump for joy. From stains to sparkle, we do it all. Let us do the dirty work for you. Quick, clean, and convenient. SRTV Laundry is a place where stains come to surrender. Modern and convenient. Laundry that fits your busy life. Delivering freshness, one load at a time. Wear dirty clothes, find your shine. Experience laundry excellence like never before. For more details, contact the number on the screen.